Today, I have amazing experts ready to talk to you about real estate, controversial topics, and other topics that are going to help you in real estate. Guys, I have amazing real estate experts that are here to share more light about real estate, about the the real estate has plenty controversies or issues about documents, buying land. Why should I invest? Should I buy land? Why should I buy land? Should I buy land and give somebody? So yeah, they're going to help us and make you understand why you should do that. So first of all, I want to direct this question to. Okay, both of you are married men, right? With families, married men with children.
Yeah, of course.
So, as married men, I think you've been in situations where you want to get land for yourself, or get land for your family, or get land for your child. So, in that situation, when you're getting the land, is it that you buy the land as a family, or you put your family's whole name, or you put your name as the man of the house, as the Baba Oni Baba of the house, or you put you and your wife's name when you're getting the land for your family? Let me keep that first for you.
Okay, am I going first?
Sure, you can go first.
Okay, this is quite dicey. It's really been one of the most, controversial stuff that has really been around the airspace recently about, especially when it has to do with the foreign countries where footballers, invest in a lot of things, and then when there's a divorce issue and the rest of them, they end up losing their whole properties and the rest of it. So it's one of the controversial stuff that has made the news, for a while now. Now that being said, yeah, okay. If I get your question correctly, it has to do with should I buy property in my name or in the name of both I and my spouse and all that. Now, I think family is made up of the man, the wife, and the children. And then the man is the head of the home. And definitely it is believed that whatever I have, if anything happens tomorrow in future, I'm supposed to pass it to my next of kings, right? And my next of kings are my kids, So invariably, even if I have to buy the property in my name, my family, they bear my son name. So it's automatically passed on to them. So I would buy in my name. Yeah, I will buy in my name. So that's on the short. So I don't know.
Mr. Olojo, I know as a real estate developer, you're also a pastor. And I'm sure divorce is not in your language.
Yeah,
so now, divorce is not in your language.
Yeah.
In that situation, how are you going to do it?
Yeah, it's very important to have clarity on why you are even investing, why you are even buying a property. Are you buying a property as a form of investment for the family, or are you buying the property as a gift to probably your spouse, to maybe your son or your daughter? Now, if you have clarity in that regard, if it's for the family, then automatically it should be in my name. You understand? Automatically the name of the family. I'm talking about the son name. You understand? Now, if you are buying it as a gift, then it should be in the name of the person who is supposed to receive that gift. So if I'm buying it for my wife, it should obviously be in the name of my wife. You understand? And this is without no fear of whatever might happen in the future. Just like you said, I'm a Christian. I have no fear of divorce. It is something that will definitely not happen. You understand? So, but even if we get to that stage, God forbid, you understand? Even if we get to that stage, God forbid, it has. It has. If I buy the 2 plots of land in Ekpe, in her name, it's a gift. If it gets to that stage, God forbid, it has. She takes it. You understand?
Okay, but you said something about buying in your family name.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're buying your family, you cannot just put your son name, his son name to buy it.
Yeah.
So now you've gotten it for your whole family, like you said, for the whole family as a whole.
Yeah.
And there's that situation there. So how are you going to solve it? Is that okay? Since you got it in the family name and you're the initial bearer of that name, you're just going to take the land for yourself, or you're going to, okay, let us sell it and we share or something.
There is no such thing as family name. It has to do with documentation. However, you can say in the name of yourself and your wife.
Yeah.
The family name is the surname of the husband. Automatically becomes the family name. But this is one thing that Africans over here, a lot of men are scared of, and that's the reason why they just want to be straight with it and just if I'm buying, they buy in their names. You understand me now?
Yeah.
They don't even go down the route of Mr. and Mrs. And then it's not in every documentation that even grants you this enablement of using Mr. and Mrs. They just want to deal with the name that is buying. There are certain areas, there are certain clauses that allow, when it is crystal clear that okay, this is a partnership business, so to say. But there are certain areas where it doesn't allow. It has to be the name of the person who is buying it. You understand? So, but in Africa now, it is becoming a thing that the moment there is that dual name, Mr. and Mrs., then any form of divorce come in play in future, then you guys now start explaining yourself.
Yeah.
The properties now come to the table for a sharing formula. Now, we understand that these are quite predominant things that play out in the foreign countries. Whereby whatever you have to say, the moment there is a divorce, definitely there must be a split of property. But in Nigeria here, oftentimes the divorce procedure, doesn't just really work easily for people who want to divorce. People can be chasing for a divorce case for almost a year, for almost 2 years, almost 3 years. And then at that point in time, people become, people just naturally just part ways because they just can't stand each other anymore. So now when they part ways, oftentimes the person that suffers the most in the divorce is the woman.
The woman.
Yes.
I thought the man is losing.
No.
Because I think in Nigeria, the woman actually benefits from what the man has.
In Nigeria or in the
I'm talking about in Nigeria. Now in Europe, the process of divorce doesn't take that long as Nigeria. In Nigeria, they try to see how they can mitigate into the whole issue and see if there could be any resolve. And in all of that, it's taking long. Mm-hmm. At the time, people who want to divorce cannot even stand themselves anymore. The lady can decide to move out, the man can decide to move out. But what I'm saying is, there is no legal action being taken that you guys have splitted. You've parted ways. So on that regards, they don't forget the properties are all in the man's name. Okay. The woman now is not living without anything. So she starts her life all over again. So that's the reason why oftentimes when you check this whole divorce case, it's not really going down well, for the female gender. You understand? However, I am of the school of thought, as much as I like to buy my property in my name, I'm also of the school of thought that if I want to buy property for my wife, if I want to gift my wife anything, I like giving her an investment gift. You understand? Because, see, let me tell you something. Irrespective of whatever plays out in future, right? There is a divorce, but there was a time you guys were nice. There was a time you guys loved yourself. You guys have come to have kids and all that. So the best thing you can leave for anybody is, a property that if you guys end up parting ways, the person has something to themselves. Yeah, exactly. They can choose to either sell it to start their life all over again, yes. Or they live in it, or you understand, whatever the case may be. But then again, I think it's an act of wickedness to completely leave a woman completely bare. But that's the case of what we have in Nigeria in a lot of cases. And then African men feel that they are using it to actually put the woman in check. Yes, put them in check. When you know that if you leave now, you're leaving to nothing. You're returning back to zero, you stay. So even if the relationship is actually a violent one, you just stay. Yeah. You can't leave.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate though. It's very unfortunate that this is what is obtainable in our present world, irrespective of the region, maybe in Europe or in Africa, where people, begin to think of different things, and they allow it to actually influence their investment decisions, as it has to do with family. Okay, should I put my wife's name? Should I put my son's name, or what have you? But the truth is, as a couple, if you are invested, normally it's supposed to be in Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja name. You understand? But at the end of the day, why they are trying to make that decision, they are also thinking of the possibility of this woman, my wife, might decide, to stab me in the back tomorrow. And the moment on that document, it is Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja. You understand? Definitely, when that time comes, when both parties have to split, then you have to start thinking of how to share that investment equally. You understand? But it is not supposed to be like that. You understand? Right now, in our present world, a lot of factors are influencing these investment decisions. It could be trust issue. It could be financial implications in terms of some divorce can be very expensive. Now, even in Nigeria, they can be very expensive because you have to think of settlement, especially when the court, favors the wife. You understand? Especially when the court favors the wife. I would like to, draw a reference to what happened, in Europe. There's this guy that played with PSG.
Oh, Hakim.
Yeah, Akim. I guess that's his name, And they were married for 3 years, just 3 years. And I the guy is a footballer, wealthy guy, man of halfless and all that. And, you can be sure that so many girls will be coming his way, you understand? I don't know what happened really, but I'm sure he must have discovered that there was something wrong with that relationship from the very beginning. You understand? Because at the end of the day, after the 3 years that they got divorced, and the lady was so quick in, seeking for settlement to cash out big time. You understand? She discovered that the guy had nothing. Nothing. You understand? As a property. And he shocked the whole world.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, down to his car, down to his house, everything was in his mother's name. That's the highest. I've not seen the highest. To me, that's the highest level of trust.
No, lack of trust.
You understand? So, for him, I don't know at what point there's a possibility that maybe some of those investment or probably acquisitions that he had after the marriage, maybe he actually got it in both's name, and later on when he started seeing some red flags, he had to go, and change the name. I do not know exactly what happened, but it really shows the level of how people can actually have trust issues, and what have you.
Borrowing from what he just said, trust me, marriage was supposed to be a very sweet union. And then issues like this, deliberations like this on, how do you buy your property, whose name should it be on, should not even come up for deliberation.
Exactly.
On a norm. But then again, people are not going into marriages with different ulterior motives. As sacred as that union is, it's so unfortunate that it's been rubbed in the mud. It's not a game of kangaroo. Now, I think it first started from the West, from the foreign country where people is now a thing that people go into contract marriages. And then they have a deadline for how long the marriage is supposed to last. If it is 6 months, if it is 1 year, and all that. And then because of that, of course, anything that is contract must have a benefits the both parties are seeking to achieve. And on the expiration of the contract, it's expected that both parties would have gotten, what the contract is about, and then leave. That is not what marriage should be about. That was not what God, made marriage to, ordain for marriage. Now, let's bring it to, our African country where we are. Now, it is a sad state that even the female trying to get into marriage is more like a poverty alleviation scheme for them. You understand? So they are not coming in because they want to, this person is a better half that is going to better their life, and then they can, do great things in the future, because The Bible said, one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. And if you're not coming with that motive of the fact that, man, this is my capacity, and I want to clinch onto someone with a greater capacity that we want to do so much together, want to make life beautiful. Unfortunately, people are now looking at it from the point of, a poverty identification stuff.
What I can get from
yes, what I can get from it, and then it becomes a problem. So the men too have come to also see this, because it shows you can't hide it for too long.
Sure.
You really can't hide it for too long. And then when the kids start coming in, you begin to notice that the love that was even pretentiously had is gradually gravitating to the child.
Yeah.
Then the man begins to ask himself, okay, what's the guarantee for my old age? Right? What am I keeping? Because with what is going on, it seems like what they call it, the retirement benefit for this woman are her kids, because she's trying to turn their attention to her end, so that at the end of during old age, so the men begin to make sure that whatever property they have in their name stays. Even if maybe when they finally die, anybody can now take it. But at least while I'm alive, it is there. And even if there is a divorce along the line, I still have it.
Yes.
Because imagine someone at the age of 60, because this guy, there's a rich guy, what's his name? Is it Elon Musk or something that got divorced?
Yeah, that's Amazon. Amazon
Bezos.
God bless you.
He made his wife a billionaire.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's about the richest divorce we've had.
No, I'm not even about the riches. I'm about the age. If someone has gotten married for a long period of time, you would have thought that they know themselves. They know themselves a whole lot.
As you've stayed for like 20 years, they will last forever.
Exactly. Yeah. So that means there is no rationale to this stuff. There is no template. So people can get divorced at the age of 60. And if at the age of 60, you are not with this circumstance where your property has to be shared or probably goes all to the woman, at your old age, when you can no longer get back those things anymore, you're left, you're left on your own.
Yeah.
And don't forget, even the kids, it was in those days you use kids as your retirement benefit. Now you don't even know what each and every one of them want to be.
Yeah.
They are living for themselves. And then the women try to also turn their attention to them, even if it is not deliberate. Sometimes it just happens because they spend more time with the moms. You as a father, you're going out to work. You're going out to fend for your family. So even when you pay the school fees, some of them are not smart enough. And that's why I love what my wife does. You get, if I do any sacrifice for the home, she calls my daughter and make her know that, look at daddy bought you a clothes. Daddy just paid your school. Daddy, thank you. Now she's giving her an insight that, that is there. So if I want to, it keeps me at the point where my heart is open to, do more. Yeah. And whatever I have, I'm not scared because I know the woman I married, that she, my interest is protected. Now let's look at people who don't, operate on this end. The men are scared. So the moment the fear factor comes in, when they are buying property, in fact, they even buy the property without the knowledge of their wives.
Yeah. Yes, we have seen.
Yeah. They buy without the knowledge of them because they are arranging their retirement benefits.
Exactly. You're very correct.
So now, this is for the men. Now let's talk about the women. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to come here now and be gender biased.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I touch both ends. On the part of the woman, two things are involved. If you want to be guaranteed of your husband's assets, if you want to have a husband that can confidently, invest in the both of you, or even you, what do? You make sure that you make him comfortable by how you play around with it. I just talked about my wife now. How those are some areas that you should pay attention to. Number two, if you're with a man that you see that this man does not really care about me that much, he can go out and buy me hair. He can go out and buy me butts. Anything that has to do with those fundamental things, those things, those deep investment that guarantees he doesn't even bring me my knowledge into it. I only get to just hear about it that I have bought this, I have bought that. There is no conversation before such property is bought. What do you do as a woman? To whom brain is given, common sense is necessary. Yeah. So what do you do? Instead of paying attention to material things, nobody was forbidden to invest.
Yeah.
So you see women invest in wigs of about 1.5 million. At first I thought it was a joke.
Or chain.
Yeah, no. Even the wigs.
Yeah.
When I thought it was a joke, jewelry, golds.
Normal is gold.
Golds can cost at this.
Or
But we're
hair.
talking about hair. They invest in hair to the tune of millions. Now, if you use this thing to guarantee yourself, because nothing, see, my father will tell me something. 20 friends don't play together for 20 years. Not even marriage is even guaranteed. Are you getting what I'm saying? Not even marriage is guaranteed. So if you have certain funds coming in here and there, instead of buying hair, buying this, invest in yourself. In case anything happens in future, you have something to fall back to. It's as simple as that. You must always know your spouse. When you check your spouse, instead of making problem about it, hey, you're not bringing, it's his money, it's your money. Yeah, you people are married, but if he choose not to make you know his level of his riches, you will never know. So the best thing you can now do for yourself is whatever cash you have, find a way to invest. That is why in said properties we see people constantly. The ladies are now turning up, even more than the guys.
Yeah.
Turning up, and then they make it. They tell you, please, keep it confidential.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
This thing you just mentioned about this, you can't trust. You can be married for 20 years and you can still be divorced. About you cannot stay with 20 people for, let's say, 20 friends cannot play together. Same way you said it is marriage also. So it reminded me of this story I saw online. There was this couple. The wife had a land. Her father bought it for her as wedding gift, or she bought it for herself. And she got married to her husband, obviously. The guy now wanted to build a house. He know, okay, my wife has a land, why am I going to buy land? So he now built on top of his wife's land.
Which is a normal thing.
It's normal, it's normal, okay, husband and wife build on top of our property. So they were together for like, let me say, 20 years, he said. Finally, obviously, issues in between, he wanted to divorce. The man was not like, madam, your time is off, carry your load and leave my house. The wife was like, leave your house on top of my land. You carry your house and leave carry your house and leave my land. So the guy was actually, the thing had me confused that, wait, you don't want to settle this thing, because I think they wanted to even settle this or something that was very viral. How will we settle it? So that's had me thinking that situation is very, very tricky for you to do. To be honest, I would try to think about.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
The woman has every right to be violent.
Because
like
you'll be pastor.
When I say violent,
Yeah.
probably maybe that is not the right term.
Yeah.
Like she has every right to express
Yes,
displeasure.
So
You understand? Because I can assure you, maybe that woman is a Yoruba woman. She might even be an Igbo woman. But when a woman has that kind of investment, that means she's an hard-working woman.
Yes.
It's a woman that sweated hard.
Don't forget they say it's a gift.
Okay, what's the gift right there? She earned the gift.
My father.
You understand? And for you to earn the gift, you must have shown level of seriousness and impressed the father. So whichever way, she earned the gift. You understand? And maybe that was the only thing that she inherited from the man. You understand? And now, because of love, because of emotions, you understand? Because of love and emotions, when they decided to want to build, the woman said, no problem, sweetheart. You don't need to buy another land. I have this land now. No wahala. And I'm making it available for him. And because there's an issue or dispute in the future, and you're not saying that it's not possible. You are going to remove that to your house and I will take my own land. So now you understand clearly where she's coming from. But the truth is, do we really need to go through that route? Now, how do we resolve that kind of dispute?
Of course, there will always be a resolution.
Definitely.
In such a situation. The legal practitioner will come in, and then oftentimes the more that will happen is the man will not want to leave. the lady too will not also be. But now that brings us to my last comment. See, let me tell you something. Investment in real estate is strictly security. Let's I think another name for real estate is future security. Now, imagine that woman doesn't have a land, that the land itself, the house was built on, isn't hers.
Yeah.
The man was already ready to throw her out.
So she doesn't want to stand her ground.
Imagine the man, the woman has nothing to fall back to, and then they throw her out. She started her life all over from square one. Who knows how long the marriage has lasted, and then she has invested all her life and emotions on the marriage.
Yeah.
Now, when you're sending somebody out, you traumatize them.
Exactly.
You mess with their entire existence. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. You mess with that. So now, especially when they are falling back to nothing, it is one thing that they are going to go through a heartbreak of a failed marriage. Yeah. But another one to come back to abject poverty of nothing to even fall back to is another thing. Yeah. So I don't even think that this whole property thing should be tied to that I'm married to you and I can't have mine. No husband, right, should hold his wife responsible against getting married. Like you're stopping your wife because you feel like it's going to bruise your ego. You know, some people are like that, some men are like that. When they feel they don't have, or they don't have as much property as the lady has, it becomes a problem. They begin to try to frustrate, victimize and try to oppress them, frustrate their source of income. No woman should allow that. And that is the reason why you need to know your pastor before you get to him. It's really very important. You need to get to know. But I don't think, I want to say today, if anyone should watch this, one major thing to take out of is that, see, investment is not gender-based. Investment is a security. Yeah. Everybody needs security. Yeah. There is, to an extent, a man can secure you. And your security, from a man is only binded by union. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. Yeah. The union of marriage. A man is supposed to pose security to his family. You're supposed to be the security head. Right? But the moment the union is dissolved, you own your security. What have you put in place to secure you? So if it's not gender-based, if it's not tied to anyone, don't look at it and say, as long as my husband has, I have to. If it works for you that way, all the way to the end, God bless. Amazing. Fantastic. But it is important. Very, very important. Just the way you if you have a car, there are people with a very, when you have a car, you must have your jack, right? You have your spare tire. The reason why road safety is insisting that every road user has a spare tire is because what you're using is not guaranteed. So you must be sure that you're putting measures in place, and it does not have anything to do with your love. It's not, as long as you're married to an educated man, what has your wife buying her own property got to do with this thing? If maybe during the marriage a gift is being gifted to you people, the both of you, in your both names, fine. But the fact that you are in a marriage, please, as a lady, while you're thinking of her, think of security. And even if the both of you, let's not just promote divorce. Let's keep it as it is, that the marriage continues till forever. If there is a challenge in future, there is a security for both the man and the woman to step in. This I have this problem. No, there is a problem here. How do you solve this problem? I have this property here. The property comes handy to solve. So until people begin to see investment as a secure, if another name for investment should be called security. Should be called security. So if you love yourself enough, you should secure yourself. The Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That means it's better that you love yourself first. before you can be able to give it to someone else. You can't love someone else more than yourself. So if you love yourself, secure yourself. It has absolutely nothing to do with marriage. I can't stop my wife from, if she can buy Banana Island, I have no problem. If she can buy the whole of Lekki, I have no problem. Absolutely. It's not going to work on my insecurity or whatever. No, absolutely not. I'm too intelligent for that.
And the takeaway again to what he said is, as couples also, we shouldn't be afraid of also investing in both parties' name, the name of your wife and yourself. You understand why? Because the truth is, you should have nothing to worry about. If you are sure of the person that you're getting married to, you know that it's something that should last the test of time. You understand? And even if it happens eventually that both parties go separate ways, then you should know that for those properties or investment that carries both ways, there has to be a settlement. You understand?
I disagree.
And for those,
I disagree with you.
That is it.
No, I disagree.
And for those investments that you actually purchase in a name, you understand? You have to let it go. You have to let it go.
I disagree.
Because it is document. And even if she's going to take you to the court, she will win. She will win because there's a document to it. There's a document to it. Now, we do not pray that it gets to that level. Divorce is obviously out of the picture. I have never been in support of it. You understand? And I will never be in support of it. But the truth is, let us use data. Let us use data. Now that's why they say this topic is very controversial. You understand? That's why let us use data to define the decisions that we make. I take it away from Nigeria to the UK. In the UK, you mess up either you purchase that investment in your name or in the name of your wife or in both of you's name. At the end of the day, if there's a divorce, you understand, the woman will take almost everything. So right now in the UK, you see married men, they are careful.
Yeah, but that's why I refuse to support. I don't support the idea.
But we are not in the UK. We are not in the UK.
It doesn't matter.
We are not in the UK.
It doesn't matter.
We are not in the UK. We're in Nigeria. You understand? And if we're in Nigeria using our present space, you get in Nigeria, you hardly find issues of settlement or whatever, because in most cases they settle it out of court. You understand? In most cases, the woman is even more concerned about her emotional well-being. So she just goes, so I don't even want anything. The only time you see the woman insisting on settlement or whatever is when, probably when there are kids here in Nigeria, when there are children and all that, they definitely, you have to, don't even bother about me. But these children, whatever I'm collecting from you, that mansion, that house, they will always target. Look at what happened to Davido recently. One of the Nigerian artists, Davido. I'm sure you know Davido. You understand? An ex, not even his wife, an ex-girlfriend, had to, I think he took him to court. She took him to court.
No, I think Davido was the one that initiated the court.
But it was
demanding more.
Yeah, she was demanding more. So Davido had to write her through his lawyer.
I think it was a custody stuff of child custody.
No, but when we read the document, we found out that there were a lot of other things involved, because she was complaining that Davido was not performing his role as the father. You understand? And Davido now said something that the lawyers, said something like, she stays in a multi-million apartment rented. She wants to drive a Range Rover, and all that. You get my point? And he funds these expenses. You understand? Now, for a woman that is smart and wise, you understand, and you are now using the child as the reason why, you get my point. Are you not supposed to use all those expenses? Are you supposed to take care of your child? So it's points, it takes us to the value system. The value system thing is a fact of Nigeria, value system. And if truly we want to go through that route, it is not a route that we should think of going through. I don't even pray for my end to go through that route. But the truth is, we are going to go by data and what is applicable. If you are investing and you're investing in the name of the man and the woman, if anything happens, eventually everybody settles equally. You understand? And if you're investing or as a gift or whatever, and tomorrow people don't love each other again, so long as the document carries the name of the woman, you let it go, brother.
So you leave his house.
Eh?
Wow. The house.
Yes. Whatever it is.
That's the reason why I said
man is falling back to work.
to follow back. That's why I said
And that is why when you are making that law, don't invest based on law. If you are investing on law, then it has to stand.
I'm not
contradicting myself. Excuse me. I am saying that if I am investing in the name of love, and that investment is carrying the name of the man and the woman, at the end of the day, when there is a dispute and everybody has to go each way, their way, I meant to say, everybody needs to be settled equally. That's what I'm saying.
Now, let me quickly come in here.
Yes.
One reason why I said I disagree is that, unfortunately, there's a speech or there's a phrase that says a men's world. Unfortunately, it is not exactly what it is. It's a men's world because some people agree it's a men's world because certain things by the law of nature just favors the man. Doesn't mean that the attributes and the activities, how things play out or span out really works for the man. I don't even get what I'm saying. Now, let me call. A man can get married and still have kids at age 70, age 60. He can get any small young lady out there, and then before you know, they have kids, they have a family. But a woman has a time line to their life. And all that. So I'm talking about natural factor, make it look as if it's a man's world. But when it comes to how things play out, especially, I won't even say on this part of the world, I think even out there, if a woman wants to rope you in jail for the rest of your life, she just victimizes you and say, and say you violently assaulted her.
She makes herself the victim.
Yes. And before you know, you are in jail. I don't even know what I'm saying that. In this part of the world, where the pity card goes to the woman. By default, it goes to the woman. Let people walk in here now. And then there's a raise of voice. And then they have a man and there's a woman. Everybody's bouncing on the man and I don't know you, man.
Hey, man. There is your voice to the woman.
God bless you. The society expects a man to bury his emotions. So oftentimes they cry inside. And then when you have cried for a long time, that the bags are now full, you explode. And then when you explode, the world still victimize you for exploding, not knowing for how long you have had to carry such bodies inside of you. So let's go back to the topic. Now, in a situation of this whole house and land, I think I'm of the opinion that there's something called will, right? When a man passes on, he has his lawyer that puts his will in check of who benefits what, who gets what, and who benefits what, right? At that point, you kept yourself in a place of authority to decide how your wealth go. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Good. So, I am of the opinion that when you're buying your property, buy it in your name. You are the head of the home. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. You are the head of the home. However, I am also of the opinion that in course of the marriage, it is not enough for you to buy wig for your wife. Buy sale pass for your wife.
Yeah.
Buy cars for your wife. Grant, don't be insecure. Buy property. You can say, I got you this. I got you this property in your name.
Your name.
You can choose to put what they call it, a tenant to stay there, and the person pays you monthly or yearly. Use it to sort out your own personal need. You have a family that will need your assistance. Not everything they come to me. You should be able to take up some certain things because of the the things that you have at your disposal and all that. You should be able to, so some things should count in her name. But if I am buying a property, Trust me, I'm going to buy it in my name. However, there are certain properties that are very, I'm trying to get an example of such property that you need to now buy in a joint, this thing, thereby guarantee the security of your wife. But note that if anything happens, you're leaving it. Yeah.
Right.
That's what the law states. In your home, if you're married now, you're with a woman, your wife, and then you guys divorce, and that particular home is bought in the name of Mr. and Mrs. If there is any divorce, Oga, you're leaving. The law does not allow the woman to go to the street
At all.
It is believed that she's a weaker vessel. You are the head of the home. You can cater for yourself. And then, worst of it all, if she now has kids, you expect her and the kids to go to the room. You're leaving the house. So, in such, if you choose to make it that way, no problem. But make sure that you now have a backup with other properties you have bought. So, if you're leaving that place for her, you have something to fall back to. So, I'm of the opinion that, as a man,
And that's why you find out that in Nigeria, abroad, when the divorce paper is served, you understand, maybe the woman serves the husband the paper, they quickly respond to it because like there's a necessity, there's a timeline. But in Nigeria, it can be on for 2 years, 3 years. Why? Because they know that if they eventually sign that, and especially if the woman is a schooled woman, somebody who is intellectual, who knows her right, it's going to be pepper.
There's a case of such going on currently.
Yeah.
I think it's a celebrity. I won't want to call him. This thing, where the man picked up another wife. Had her pregnant first before going to marry her, and all that, and then the woman had to leave the marriage that I cannot be a second wife. We never had this agreement. So if you want to go down that route, then you're your own.
Exactly.
There is an information making around the news. I don't know how authentic it is, that the woman had actually served a letter, a letter of divorce.
Yeah, I think I know the story. I think she has served.
She has served a decision, and the man has refused to sign. You get what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of I's and T's that needs to be crossed. Because definitely, definitely you are not leaving her empty-handed.
Exactly.
For sure.
Now, note that she might have not brought anything, apart from the fact that she brought a home, just like women will always say. She brought a home, she gave you kids. But I'm talking about material wealth. She might have not brought anything, but the law recognizes the fact that she has to have either 50%, considering the person who is that is majorly at fault. You get what I'm saying now? If it's on a mutual grounds that this team is no longer working anymore, we want to part ways and all that, it can go down on a 50% ground. But if you are at the fault of it, it's just like the case of bigamy. In the case of, I don't know if you know what I'm saying now, where if you are married, to just like you're married now, and then the reason for the divorce is that you cheated, and then you were caught. And there's an evidence. It's not 50-50. So
to go more to the woman.
It's not 50-50. You might end up losing almost 80.
Especially when the man is guilty.
Yes. If you're guilty, you take more losses. So
people are everything married. I've not reached there. So for like me now, I'm sure there are plenty of young people watching this thing now. They also want to invest in property. Some young people are also in relationship like me. Like you're saying, because the topic I've been hearing is marriage, husband and wife. What of us young ladies? How are we going to, if you're in a situation like that, okay, as in the case of husband and wife, I am my girlfriend, okay, we were actually thinking of the future, even though we are still young, or we came into money and we actually want to invest it. Do you advise us to? Because I've seen friends get property. You must not have the same surname on the property. So both of you can get a property for yourself, just to try to build. You don't know, obviously we don't know what will happen in the future if we still be together or not. But because of the love then we now get property, or even friends want to get properties. So how will we settle it in case like in the future we have separated now?
First, in relationship, there's no such thing as we.
No,
Yeah, there's no such
it's
thing.
we
as-
now. I am my
There's
girlfriend.
no
We.
such guys.
We are us.
There's no legal document.
At all, like finding you guys. There's no you guys. Your agreement will just be like two.
And the oral agreement.
No, not even oral. You know, when people are it's just like when two parties are going into contracts
Yeah.
to get a job done and then share the money.
Yeah.
That is what you guys are doing.
But if people are making us, everybody, couple. We too, we are still couples.
No,
People
no.
have name, but we. So if are oppressing us,
There-
actually what's now?
There is no such thing as we. You know, anything that has no certainty. As much as we are talking about marriage, possibility of a divorce and no divorce, there is no peg on it that there is it's going to last for the longest of time or till death do us part, just like it is rightly said in the altar. That of relationship is just two people who are just familiarizing with themselves, getting to be familiar.
It's not violent.
There is no legal this thing, binding you guys.
Yeah.
Note that, like I said here, that even there are situations that even if you don't even put the woman's name in the property, right, and then there is a divorce against you, and there was a court marriage, and then there is a documentation. If the woman divorces you, part of your property, which they are going to check, that's even in your name, will go to her. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. Some of your properties, especially the ones that is well known to her, she will point it out, because she must be properly settled.
Exactly.
Because there's a documentation to what do you call a relationship that there is no what's the document? Something you can wake up
So
and
we
then.
should not just invest. Then we should not invest. Or we should
No,
not invest
all I'm
invest
saying-
personally
No,
for
listen.
ourselves.
All I'm saying is your case is going to be like a man who sent a woman to school.
Exactly.
And then the woman went to the school and met
Yeah.
and,
So that was what came to my mind when you brought that.
and met a final man.
And
then
and you've seen.
No. Let's analyze the guy. Chiseled shoulder.
Somebody
Seven parts.
Eh.
7 or 6 parts. And then what you have over the guy is maybe you have more money to sponsor her. And this guy is a good-looking guy that happens to be her spec at the moment. Women don't have any specific spec. Their spec gravitates according to their needs. According to their spec. So at the moment, that is the spec she needs. And then all of a sudden, when you're done with training, I say, my dear, I did not promise you anything.
There's no document.
It was not even document. The Lord used you,
to bless me.
To bless me. So,
an helper of this.
so that is exactly what it's like to buy a land for a lady you're dating. However, we are not kicking against you investing for somebody you're dating, but just know that there is no guarantee. Invest like someone who's naturally dashing someone.
Yeah.
So it's better to gifts.
Yes.
Or you should separate.
Yes, your
get
gift.
to separate.
Sorry?
Like I get, she gets.
Yeah, you just buy a
Exactly.
dating.
Exactly.
Exactly, just buy a
Or let's say, for instance, you want to buy a plot of land for said properties now, because part of part of our offerings, we also sell lands, housing project and all that. So let's say you want to buy a plot of land from us, and it's for both of you, because you are not yet married, you are just in a relationship. What you can do is that, okay, let me buy half plot for myself, and I also buy half plot, even if you have to still finance the investment.
because you cannot even use Mr. and Mrs.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
So you guys are just going to buy half plot in your different names.
Yeah.
And then when the relationship crashes in future, that's what she benefits from you.
Exactly.
Whatever you think you benefit from her too is fine. If you do not benefit anything onto the next, to God be the glory. So that's why I said from the beginning there is no such thing as we. These are just two people playing around and getting to know themselves. We becomes a thing when there's a legal this in binding by both court and the religious institution and then the traditional institution as we have it here in Africa. So I think that's that about that.
Okay, thank you very much. So at the end of we're about to finish this podcast. So at the end of everything, so like what advice do you give the people that are married and also people that are single like me? Like what advice in getting properties and land and everything?
I think I should allow you to go first.
My advice is invest
For sure.
in your spouse's name, When you invest in your spouse's name, it shows trust, it shows loyalty, it shows that you care, and it also shows that you guys are not going anywhere. Are you getting my point? So my advice is invest in your spouse's name. Let the spouse know that truly both of you are in it together. You understand, you love each other, and that you know that your future is bright. There's no going back, there's no issues, there's not going to be a situation of separation and all that, because at first you are supposed to have first and foremost invested in that relationship. That's why courtship is important. The period of courtship is when you try to understand the person you want to get married to. Prayerfully enter into that relationship, and from there you guys shape each other, understand each other, and eventually settle down. Marriage constitution is a school that you never graduate from. So even when you are courting your spouse, you can never know her or you can never know him completely. There are some traits that you start knowing, about him or about her when you guys eventually get married. But the moment you guys tie that knot and you become husband and wife, it is a journey that you cannot go back on. You understand? Because I'm speaking from a perspective of a Christian. You understand? So it is expected that you guys are going to spend the test of time together, and that you should invest. You should invest in your wife, and if also as a wife also. If you are blessed and you God has empowered you financially, probably more than your husband, or maybe you have the means, you understand, you can also invest in your husband's name, you understand. And to round it off, as a couple, invest in both spouses' name, yourself, Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja. Like now, Mr. and Mrs.
Lagbaja.
I'm Onojo, so Mr. and Mrs. Onojo.
All right. My own last word for this, I still stand on what I believe in. Like I said, investment is a security for everyone, and then it's not gender based. Neither is it a child should invest, a mother should invest, a wife, a husband should invest. Now, on the area of separation of investment, I think as a husband, have certain investments in your name, have certain investments in your wife's name. As time goes on, as God will bless you, you also will see people who start investing in their kids. I have a neighbor who told me about that. One of the things he made sure to do is that the moment his wife takes in, and then they are expecting, he's already looking for property, to buy. Yeah. So as he's buying the property, the name he intends to give to the child when the child arrives is what he's buying the property in the name of.
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So now his ideas is that before this child will get to 15, 20, that is how this property keeps appreciating. You know what I'm saying?
He or she can decide on
what to do with it. Now, the funny thing is, he did not only buy land, he bought even houses. So some of them now are used for Airbnb, shortlets. Some of them are, they have tenants. And then those things naturally finance the child's life. The kids are all abroad. They are all schooling abroad. And then he's not stressing himself on how to sponsor them, because those investment just comes out handy to sponsor this pay bills. So he has about 4 of them, and all of them all have lands in their name, though he invested more in the east. They all have land in their name and houses in their name. So what are you seeing? Now, this is security for this man. Times are hard now. So let's say his business are not really working well. His children will not have to suffer from maybe the challenges that is going on at the moment. Those things will just begin to service them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. Those things will service them. The same thing too with the woman. While you continue, but have challenges and all that, instead, at a point, people will get to know that, hey, it's as if this woman is facing an issue. This is a woman that used to come out so spotless, shiny, and all that. She has an investment that is, speaking on her behalf, helping her keep. So generally, property investment is a security for everyone. So everyone should invest. As a wife, invest for yourself. As a husband, you have a larger role because you're not going to invest for both yourself and your spouse and your kids. But number one, don't fail to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
Don't fail. Have some properties named in your name. In your name. No matter.
You're speaking like an Igbo man.
Yes.
That's my girlfriend's name.
No matter how in love you are, have some invest in your name. Have the one invest in yourself and your wife's name. Then have the one so that at your old age you're not going to your kids' house disturbing them to give you money to support because of why you have made provision for all of that. And then if the marriage hits the rock, you're still good to go. The woman takes the one she will take. You still have the ones that you're highly secured in. I don't know if you know what I'm saying now. Yeah, that's the truth. And if you have your way, don't even make the personal property you own public if you like. To be honest with you, because when the time comes, if there's still any divorce, they will still trace to all of those properties and then calculate. They will now begin to calculate your total wealth, like what's your worth, and then divide it into two. So invest in yourself, invest in you and your wife, invest in your kids. At the end of the day, everybody should invest.
So thank you very much. Me as a single guy, I've learned a lot from this.
Learn you.
Okay, that's true. You even asked as regards to that of the same thing. If you love your spouse so much as a single person, I would advise that instead of buying those intangible gift items that you normally give, oftentimes if you even break the amount that they use in buying those things, they're even enough to buy land.
Exactly.
Especially in this time and age where we have all this property around the Ekpe axis, the Lekki axis of property, are selling for 600, 500, 1 million, 1.2. Why spend money buying a wig for 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 for someone a wig that maybe if the lady gets into fight, they will just tear the wig. Or this thing that they're even snatching they're snatching hair on the road. People go with bike and snatch the hair. Why not get her something that even if after the relationship, like even if the relationship you guys end up parting ways, there's something she will look and say, this guy did this thing for me. And hopefully maybe her husband has not even done such, but boyfriend did it for her. So buy separately for yourself. Don't go down the route of contract this thing. So that's my own take.
Thank you very much. As you can see, you have heard a lot from these experts. I'm sure I was not the only person that learned a lot. I learned that I should invest. If I'm investing in my partner, I should separate it from my own personal life. This talk was very, very insightful. I learned a lot. I'm sure we'll be able to listen to stories and stories and stories, which was very insightful, which was very particular, which was very powerful. Our pastor. But thank you very much for coming today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So don't miss out on our next podcast. So just subscribe, like, share, and comment, and turn on your notification bell to notify you when next we upload. Have a nice day.